Man, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, you guys. And man, just I've forgotten of how to do a live stream. This is the most ridiculous thing. You know what I'm going to do? There you are. All right, good. It worked. Okay, good. Here's the problem, people. I haven't done a live stream from a computer in a long time. Here we go. Thank you for joining me. This is Living Abroad with Johnny Scoville. Hi, Kristen Melinda. Ever the rock star, MVP. Josh Cohen. Hello. Hello, Cohen family. Grumpy Gill. Lisa White. Hello. Winchester Super X. Jackie Moon. Hello there. Zach. You got to be kidding me. Zach. Good to see you. Windmill Willie. Becky USA. Thank you for being here. Hi, Benny. All right. So I haven't done a live stream in a long time, so I apologize. This morning, you know what happened this morning? Hello, Shane. Katie. Hey, sweetheart. Please stop that. I did a live stream this morning. Hi, Lisa Trimble. Hi, Sandy Wendy, Shane. And as soon as the stream was over, I went and there were a bunch of old ones that, if you've done YouTube, if you're a YouTuber, there were a bunch of old ones that were in limbo that never actually, something went wrong, but they still stay there. And I was going to get rid of them. And the first one I got rid of was the video I just did. So I felt like such an idiot. Could you please do me a favor? If you could, hit the like button. If you've never subscribed to this channel, please do that now. I'd appreciate that. We got a lot to talk about. Man, oh man. Katie. So, big news. Hi, Aaron. I have expatriated. I am immigrating to South America. That is where I am right now. I'm learning Spanish. That's the biggest difficulty right now, is the fact that I don't speak Spanish. Hawk Slings, good to see you. I'm going to wait a few more minutes to let some more people get in here before I kind of get into the question answer, because I got to tell you something. Hawk Slings, hello. This is the one video where I'm going to explain why I'm here. After this video, anytime anybody asks me, what you're going to hear is, that was weeks ago. That was weeks ago. This is the time where I'm going to be talking about it. Man, I think if you've ever moved, put a 1 in the chat. No one's going to not put a 1 in the chat. We've all moved. Moving years and years ago, when my dad was alive, I was moving, and he sent me an article from a newspaper. Believe it or not, it was a letter. He sent me a letter, and it said, look at all the ones. It said, next to the passing, Montezuma, good to see you. Hi, Jane. Thank you for being here. Lisa Trimble, you're awesome. This article said was that next to the passing of a loved one, the most stressful thing that a human being can endure is a move. And while that's true, I moved a lot. Let me give you, I actually have this, I kind of wanted to, in my head, I kind of wanted to figure it out. Like, how many times have I actually moved? Have you ever done that? Have you ever sat down and made a list of all the different places you've lived? Have you? Where is mine? Because I got to show you. I do have a list of every place where I've lived. I know I'm kind of, if I can't find Chase the, I'll do it from memory. I was born in New York. All right. I'm a New Yorker by birth. I've lived in Vermont, lived in Boston, Massachusetts. I lived in Wheaton, Illinois. Lived in Texas 2 or 3 different times. I've lived in Nevada, South Carolina. I've done some moving. But I got news for you. And this isn't a flex, but you think you've moved. Until you move, Riley, hello. Thank you for saying hello to me, Riley. Riley Rose is a darling. Mike Chili Eskimo, good to see you. Anyway, until you move to a different country, there's nothing like it. I got to tell you, we had to get the cats. Where's squirrel's right there, Katie's somewhere. If it was just Tommy and I moving here, it's like it's no big deal. Like seriously, it's hee haw. Moving with cats. Now we had a, if you knew the process, my God, we had to go get fingerprinted by the FBI. All right, they did a criminal background check on both of us going back a decade. It was just an insane thing. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the move, and then I'm going to tell you why. But anyway, so we took the cats. I had to get these cats USDA certified. The papers are right there. I should show them to you. They're funny. We had to take them to a vet in Scottsdale who gave them an examination. They had to get an additional rabies shot and a respiratory shot. I had a choice of quarantining them 10 days here, where I would quarantine them, or flying here and sticking them in a kennel somewhere where they're quarantined, where I'm not there. And I wasn't going to let that happen. So we quarantined them at home. But they gave us gabapentin to knock the cats out. So when we got the gabapentin, they, Guitar Poop, good to see you. Riley's text. Oh, this is Riley texting. Hi, Riley. That's crazy. Can't believe you're texting. You were 4 years old when I met you, and you're texting now. The whole move was incredible. But having the cats in this, we flew from, hi, Jesse O. Please hit the like, subscribe to this channel if you haven't. But we flew from Tucson to Houston Intercontinental, which is not that. Was it George Bush or Ronald Reagan? I don't know if they changed the name of it. Once we got there, we had an 8-hour layover. And like normally, so what? You sit down, you people watch. I got a cat that's in a bag this big. And the stress that it put on Tommy and I, it sucked. Fortunately, the drugs we gave them, like when we got the drugs, the doctor said the night before, give them one. All right. So we gave them one, and I hit the timer on my watch to see how long it was going to take them to affect them. Hit Squirrel faster than it hit Katie. Katie's 3 pounds bigger than Squirrel. And we kind of watched them. And it said the next morning, and by the way, if you have a question, please put 3 Qs in front of it. Please do that. They'll stand out. I'll try to get to them all. I'll flag them and answer them, at the end or as we go. So the instructions. Hi, Sandy. The instructions were the next morning, an hour before we left for the airport, to dose them again, which we did. Now the night before we left, thank you, Kristen. The night before we left, Tommy with his phone set up a lift. You don't just get a lift; it has to be pet-friendly lift. And we had 3 enormous bags. He had a carry-on case. I had my guitar and 2 cats. So we needed a big car. So we had set the night before. I said, "You sure?" Yeah, her name was Cheryl. It was all done. I think it was Cheryl. The next morning it wasn't a matter of Riverdale. Hello. It wasn't a matter of getting up. I didn't go to sleep that night. You think you're going to sleep? You could have, I wasn't going to sleep that night. So that morning we dosed the cats, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute, Josh. We dosed the cats, and then I'm waiting, and we're about an hour before the Uber or a Lyft was supposed to be here. I said, there's no notification, nothing. Ragnarok, good to see you. No notification. So really quickly, I was like, holy crap. So I got my phone in order to Lyft really fast. And I'm telling you, it was the grace of God. There was a guy that had just dropped a passenger off a mile away from us. Yeah, I'll be there in 2 minutes. You have no idea. It saved us. You need 3 hours before you're going to travel. 2 hours if you're going to travel domestically. 3 hours if you're going to do international. And I promise you, if you're using putting Qs in front of it, I'm flagging them. So I will get to the question, Sandy Wendy, I promise. But anyway, this driver came. He's so cool. I'm going to do a video about him because he has a channel. He was such a nice guy. Anyway, we got to the airport on time. We got to get there 3 hours early. The cats are drugged. And first, it was really great. Hi, Brave. It was fantastic because the cats were drugged. They were just, and I don't mean they were like unconscious. They were just subdued. They were stoned. That's what they were. So they were fine at first. We flew to Intercontinental, then had an 8-hour layover. And that was awful because I'm just worried about my cat. I'm worried about, there's Squirrel. Squirrel is Tommy's cat. I'm worried about them, So the 8-hour wait left, the next flight, we flew from Houston to Bogota, Colombia. You ever been to the Bogota, Colombia airport? It'll get your attention. So we get to the Bogota, and I was just worried that they're going to say, a cat? You think you're going to bring a cat on this plane? Sorry, we're turning you away. I was so worried about that. I was so worried about everything just working. So flipping stressed. You have no idea. Please, guys, like the stream if you haven't yet. All right? If you haven't, please get more people in this. So we flew to Bogota. And then we had another 5-hour layover in Bogota. And you got to know, nobody's speaking English, and I felt so bad for the cats. I love my cat and I love Squirrel so much. Anyway, we got on the last flight from Bogota, Colombia to Guayaquil, Ecuador. Okay. And here's what happened. When we got the drugs from the vet, they gave us 10 pills. We gave them one each the night before. Then every 6 hours, we had to give them another dose. Well, the last flight, we had no dose for them. And Squirrel was handling it better than Katie was. Katie was in her bag trying to get out of it. I mean, fighting in that bag. And I'm trying to talk to her. Oh, it's just the worst thing. We sat side by side every flight except the Bogota to Guayaquil. So the cats were on the ground. They could see each other, and that helped them. The last flight, we're not next to each other. So and Katy Perry cried, meowed for probably 2 hours. I didn't care about anybody else. I wasn't care if someone was pissed off about my cat. I was worried about my cat. At any rate, we get to the Guayaquil airport. Everything just fell together, and we got a cab from Guayaquil to Salinas, Ecuador, which is where I am right now. Now, to the question, why? Why did I up and leave? Okay, this is the one time we're going to discuss it. Let me go to the questions first. Josh Riley asked, why are you moving out of the U.S.? Let's see. Okay, I'll answer that first one. If you're a YouTuber, all right, if you're a content creator and you have any level of success, you are going to get people that don't like you. And those aren't viewers that just say, hey, I don't like that guy. All the people that are trolls are people that had aspirations to be a YouTuber, and it didn't quite work out for them. So they don't make content. They attack those who do. And while I get trolls, I understand, listen to me, I understand trolling. I understand, hey, I don't like that guy, Johnny Scoville. His real name is Kurt. I get trolls trolling me. Do you understand that? But what I don't get is vandalism to my home. What I don't understand is trolls of mine posting the phone number for the Department of Homeland Security and encouraging the viewers to call and make claims against Tommy and I that we are trafficking human beings. Now, I got news for you. The Department of Homeland Security doesn't screw around. When they get a tip like that, they have to investigate every tip. Okay. They also encouraged their viewers to call the Tucson Police Department to say that on weekends, Tommy and I run to Mexico, buy drugs, take them back and sell them in Tucson. Now, as a result, there are people in this chat that were contacted by the Department of Homeland Security, questioned about me. I'm not making that up. There are people in this chat right now who were contacted by an officer thinking that Tommy and I are selling drugs and trafficking human beings. Hi, Adam Thomas. Good to see you. Lisa White, I'm glad you're here. It's unbelievable. All right. So what happened was, for about 4 months, every time I left my home, I was followed by either a white, I thought it was just a white and either a blue or a green Suburban, but apparently there's a black one too, that, or the Tucson Police Department would follow me everywhere we went. Now, I've done nothing wrong. I was a criminal for decades. I was a bad man and did a lot of bad things. But I've turned my life around and I'm not a criminal anymore. Now, so what I was faced with, these trolls aren't going to stop. They made a video saying that their goal was to put us in jail. Their goal was to get us to quit YouTube. And then we'll have to go get a Joe job somewhere. And wherever we go get a job, they would call them and saying, hey, you have a, I've been called a pedophile, a serial rapist. I've never done any of those things. That's not me. I've never been accused of it. And it's not Tommy. We had to, listen to me carefully, we had to do a FBI criminal background check to get here. You don't just jump on a plane and say, I'm going to move to Ecuador. We looked at a half a dozen different places. But this is the one we decided on. All right. They use American currency here. But it's funny. Here's the thing. Had they only made 1 or 2 complaints with the Department of Homeland Security, it probably would have caused more trouble for us. But they got a couple hundred. So they were, I'm not going to talk to them. I'm not that guy. I don't talk to the police, because that's how they start building a case against you. Well, an officer, his name is Quisenberry. Somebody, I promise you, there are people in the chat going, oh yeah, I got an email from him, or I talked to him. He said, he said, look, you don't have to talk to me. I got nothing on you. You have people that hate you. It's a campaign and people that hate you. But I got nothing on you. You had to go back 10 years with a criminal background check. Tommy hasn't been arrested in over 10 years. Neither have I. There are a lot of hoops that you need to jump through to immigrate to this country. Tommy and I had to demonstrate that we made 3 times the living wage, what it costs to live for a year here. We have to make 3 times that in order to move here. But we did. That he emailed me. I assumed it was a troll pretending to be someone important. No, that was the Department of Homeland Security, hon. No joke. Anyway, so we were cleared. We got cleared for immigration. We both make more than 3 times the annual what was necessary. The fact that Tommy robbed banks, all right, and he did some time, gun running. But you got to understand something. Ecuador isn't like America. They aren't looking to keep you out. They're trying to find a reason to bring you in. And so they interviewed Tommy, and Tommy said, "No, this is what I've done. I have a channel," and the fact that he's done what he's done, they were very, very happy to have Tommy and I relocate here. So we did. Simo Sups, good to see you. So we've relocated. Now, So those are the reasons. They weren't ever going to stop. These are the same people that made celebration videos when my father died. Please wrap your brains around that, people. What kind of person do I get if you don't like me? I get it. But if your goal is to put somebody in jail or end a career or cancel somebody, something wrong. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen a video of me saying, Johnny finally fires back, or Johnny's response to the trolls. You're not going to see one. I've never, ever, not once have I ever made a response video. But they just didn't stop. These are people with mental problems. Adam Thomas, who couldn't like you? Oh, there's a list. So anyway, lots of, we moved. And in this country, let me tell you something. God is good. You know why I was able to move? Because about 4 or 5 months ago, I get an email. Hi, Mr. Salty. Hi, Jesse. It is what teenagers do on the internet. It's evil. Anyhow, there's about 7 different pathways for citizenship in this country. One of them is an investment citizenship. Well, about 4 or 5 months ago, I got approached. The funny thing is I got approached by 3 or 4 companies initially. And each one of them, I'm like, they're promising me, like, look, if you're a YouTuber and you do well, you're going to get offers every day. I'll collab this, talk about this, Anyway, I had this company call me saying it was a company that, Tommy's my brother, Guitar Poop. I got approached by a company that asked if I was interested in licensing my content for the purpose of training AI models. Now, I'm not the brightest guy, you guys. I went, excuse me? I'm not going to sell my channel. So I had a ton of questions, and I shut him down, actually. But here's the only reason I even reached out to him, because the 3rd paragraph talked about how much money I was going to make, and that got my attention. So I called the guy up, and we ended up speaking on the phone, and he goes, can we do a Skype? We want to talk and do a Skype. I said, sure. Please like this video, please, if you haven't yet. And if you've never subscribed to this channel, please do that now. That's how much money it costs. The whole thing has been so surreal, you guys. I lost my train of thought where I was going. It happens a lot. Anyhow, so we end up moving here, and that's what it is. Now they can't get here. I'm getting people saying, "Oh, they're running from somebody." You know what? I'm running. I'm not running from anything. I'm running to happiness. I got, there are the United States. Do you see that? I got the tattoo of the flag on my arm. I love the United States. But I don't like the fact that here's one of the problems that happens in the United States. If you're a public figure, I'm a small channel, but I'm a public figure. I'm on the other side of the earth and I'm being recognized by people. Okay. So, when you're a public figure, people can say anything about you and there's nothing you can do. Do you know why I ended up firing Church's Chicken because they wanted to fire me first because of all the crap they were getting from trolls. I ended up having to, it was like killing yourself before someone's going to kill you. I knew they were going to end my relationship, so I fired them. I ended up losing. I've been shunned from League of Fire because of all the bad press. I had to separate myself from Harvest 912. They were never going to stop. So what was I going to do? Sit here and take it? I'm not that guy. So I ran to happiness. I didn't run from something. I ran to something. Jigsaw says, I have seen you happy. Hang on. I've seen you happy, but not as happy as where you are now. I think it was a great move, and I hope you do well there, Johnny. Thank you. I got to tell you, let me tell you how I checked into this hotel. You want it? It's pretty funny story. Got the cab, came here. I live on Half Moon Bay. I'm going to get back to the story about the AI in a second. But when I checked into this hotel, I said, I have this app. I push a button and it's in English, and I said, how much for a night? And he goes, $20 a night. But they didn't have one room, so they had 2 different rooms. So I said, fine, we'll take it. I paid him the money. He handed me the keys and pointed to there. I'm not on a registry here. If you called this hotel and said, is Johnny Scoville there? They'd say, huh? It's just a beautiful thing. Getting back to why any of this became possible. This AI company said, we don't want to, I called him, I said, I'm not going to sell you my channel. I've worked my butt off for 9 years, almost a decade. I'm not selling it to you. And he went, settle down. You're not selling anything. I said, why don't you explain it to me? Guess what the guy's name is? It's hilarious. His name is Johnny. So I said, explain it to me, Johnny. So he says, he goes, look, here's what's happening. He says, you've been screwed already. I went, what? He goes, you've been doing this for 9 years. You have 7,000 videos. If you don't think people have taken videos of yours and without your permission used them to train AI models, if you don't think they've done that, then you're crazy. They have. We want to do it too, but we want to pay you for it. And I said, well, and it started sounding really, really good. I said, what does that mean? He said, I'm not, he goes, you don't lose your channel. The viewers that watch you will never know. My image is never going to be seen somewhere else. My voice is never going to be heard somewhere else. They're just taking my mannerisms, the way I speak, the way I talk, the way I'm able to engage and hold an audience. And they're trying to train AI models. So I said, the third paragraph in your email, Johnny, had some very big numbers. Can you explain them to me? And I mean, he has 28 different clients, insurance companies in Taiwan. And I mean, they're all over the world. But we're a long way for AI to be really good. So when I looked at the money, I went to a lawyer. Tommy and I took our stuff to the lawyer and will you look at this, please? I said, can I get hurt? And he goes, yeah, you sure can. I said, how? He goes, by not signing that. That's how you can get hurt. I said, it's real then? This is real? He goes, oh yeah. By the time they got to me, they had already paid out $15 million to content creators. Because of 9 years of doing this, I have 900 hours of usable audio, usable video, 400 additional live stream hours of content that they can buy to train AI. I signed a 2-year contract with them. Do you guys think I made a lot of money? Do you guys think I make a lot of money doing what I do? I don't. But I will tell you this. I'm going to make more money in the next 2 years than I made in the last 20. I've already gotten one big check already. And that's how I was able to buy this condo. Tommy and I have purchased a condominium. It's on Half Moon Bay. Okay. We bought the penthouse. It's the top floor. We own the entire floor. It has my bedroom has a sliding glass door that opens up to the ocean. The ocean's actually, that's not there. The ocean's right there. And 4 months a year, whales migrate here and play around in the bay. And people from all over the world come here to see it. B. Hendricks, I don't think you make as much as people think you make. You're right, I don't. However, I'm not rich. I don't make enough money to be rich in America, but I have news for you. I'm a very rich man here. I really am. It's a beautiful thing. I'm going to answer some of these. Let's see. Here's a good question. I'm going to get to everybody's questions, but you don't have any recourse for harassment, defamation, lawsuits against these trolls. All right. So, Tommy, there's one troll that in one of her videos says, I'm a woman of means. I have money. So she called my brother and she's called me a pedophile. We've contacted a lawyer. Their paralegals have downloaded every one of her videos. And she doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. She's going to have to pay a retainer of about $25,000 just so she can lose. And what they're going to say is you're going to lose and you're going to lose big because you have called these two people pedophiles. Do you understand something? In the United States of America, the only defamation that you don't have to prove damages is if somebody calls you a pedophile. Do you know that? Because it's so egregious that you don't need to prove it hurt you. If somebody's calling you a pedophile, it hurt you. This woman's in trouble. And if she was smart, she would find Tommy really quickly and offer him something good. Here's the thing, though. Tommy and I have been very blessed. Money's not a problem right now. Tommy doesn't give a damn about the money. This is, words matter. When we were kids, my dad said to us, words matter. This person's going to learn that her words matter. And there it is. So those are the reasons we moved. That's how we're able to move. Okay, it was because of the AI. It is hot as a... Hold on a second, people. I got to turn the fan down in this hotel room. Hang on. There we go. While I get up, I want to show you this. This, if you think I'm fooling, this is the USDA certificate. That's the seal, the USDA certification saying that our cats are legal to are safe for traveling. Now, we chose Ecuador for a number of reasons. We looked at a lot of different countries. They use, first of all, 94% of this country are believers. How about that? I'm mostly Catholic. I'm not Catholic, but I love a place where 94% of the people believe in God. Wow, I love that. Hang on, let me get rid of that sleuth. Please get rid of sleuth for me. Could you do that for me, KM? Free speech, long live the trolls. Get rid of that person. Because sleuth is never going to offer anything positive. It's never going to make a positive contribution anywhere. And somebody with a wrench, please do me a favor and get rid of, here, I'll do it. Ban the user. There you go. You're done. Anyway, they use American currency here. They do. Now, even though they use American, exactly, Jesse, even though they use American currency here, there's still an exchange rate. A Coca-Cola costs 15 cents. This hotel room is $40 because it would change to a bigger room. The condo that Tommy and I bought, if we bought that in Miami, it would have cost us over $20 million probably. I bought it for about the cost of a Mercedes-Benz. A little more than that, but the money that I make in America, it's month to month. I don't care how much in public I am. I don't care if I was in a reality show. I don't care if a lot of chili heads know who I am. I'm living month to month. My God, am I not living month to month here? You have no idea. It's a life. I mean, so the cost of living is absurd. It's 15 to 1. $1 is worth about 15. So if I make what I make is the equivalent of about $1.5 million a year here. 6 months, a 6-hour boat ride that way is the Galapagos Islands. Everywhere around here, I'm a surfer. There is surfable waves every single day of the year if I'm willing to drive at least 10 minutes in a different direction. There are waves here. It's just a spectacular. Let me tell you, there's so many other great things about this country. I don't get taxed. No tax. I get taxed if I draw money from the Ecuadorian economy, but all my money comes from America, so I don't get taxed. Zero tax. Every year they give me a 10% tax credit to pay the tax that for back home. Now, listen, Tommy and I both passed criminal background checks to get here. They don't just let anybody here. But I want you to know something. You guys know, put a 1 in the chat if you've heard the name Julian Assange. If you've heard the name Julian Assange, put a 1 in the chat. WikiLeaks. That was him. He was in Great Britain. And I mean, Great Britain wanted him. I mean, America wanted him. Well, when the crap hit the fan, he was in Great Britain. He went, holy crap. He had invested $30,000 a few years prior in Ecuador. When he was in Great Britain, the closest embassy to him was the Ecuadorian embassy. Now, you know what an embassy is? An embassy is a building, like the Ecuadorian embassy in Great Britain is a building in Great Britain, but that property is Ecuador. That's how it works. So he went hauling his butt into the Ecuadorian embassy. And when the America knocked and said, we want him, they went, he's Ecuadorian. Get out of here. We're not giving him to you. When Great Britain said, we want Julian, they went, tough luck. You're not getting him. How about that? He stayed there for 7 years. And that was a guy that had done some stuff. I haven't done anything wrong. Tommy hasn't done anything wrong. So I really don't worry about anything. You have no idea. I have a sense of peace right now that I've never experienced ever in my life. I'm not kidding you. Every day I take a 2-hour nap. I sleep like a baby at night. It's really a funny thing. Dual citizenship, B. Hendricks says. I'll have dual citizenship. I won't get my passport for Ecuador for 4 years. In 2 years, I'm going through the immigration process now. In 2 years, I'm considered a citizen, but in 4 years, I get my passport. At that point, I'll have dual citizenship. I'll be a citizen of America. I'll be a citizen of Ecuador. I'm never going to throw away I'm never going to renounce my citizenship from America. I love America. But I don't like that they don't protect me. I don't like that. I don't feel protected there. I can't begin to tell you how protected I feel here. I'm not even fooling you. The healthcare system, Frank asks, you're never going to hear me dump on America because I love America. But in the world, America, I think, is rated 44 or 47th in the world for healthcare. Ecuador's 20. My healthcare is free. I don't pay anything for it. I need a back surgery. I'm going to have that done. Johnny Jr. might be. He's thinking about it. He's got to come visit first. I do not have to renounce my U.S. citizen to become, no, there's no truth to that whatsoever. You do not have to renounce your U.S. citizen to become a citizen somewhere else. That's misinformation. Some more questions. Sandy Wandy asked, did you use a consultant or service to help you process the paperwork for the Ecuadorian residency? Yes, there is an Ecuadorian embassy in Phoenix. So Tommy and I went to Phoenix and we began the process in America. So we already started the process before we ever even got there. Once we got here, there is several groups, expat groups, and they're assisting us getting bank accounts and, there's a lot of things. There's a lot going on, and so we are using a service for that. Lisa Tribble asked earlier, you said a lot of the fruit was weird. Are you good to try, Eddie? By the way, avoid durian. I love durian. There is a lot of weird fruit here. There's a lot of weird everything. The one thing I want to tell you. Food dye, food preservatives, and food additives are against the law in South America. I'm eating out of God's garden. There's nothing in the food that I eat. It's the healthiest food in the world. I felt like I was being poisoned with what I was eating in America, and it's spectacular. The Grumpy Gill, 1 hot minute. Miss you in the community. Glad you're doing well. We're going to be doing 1 hot minute. I'm going to be reviewing hot stuff. I'm going to be doing challenges, but I'm going to be skydiving, surfing, kite surfing, yoga. There are 540 restaurants in Salinas, and I'm going to review them all, every one of them. 6 hours that way is the Galapagos Island. Once a year, we're going to make a trip there and walk around and check the stuff out. So as far as the content coming, it's just a whole lot more and better. Trisha, what does Mama Scoville think of the move? That's a really spectacular question. My mom saw the stress that we were under. My mom saw law enforcement agents in the rearview mirror. Hi, Katie. Oh, did you just wake up? Come here, Katie. You want to see Katie? Come here, Katie. Come here. Katie, come here. Please, come here. She's not. If I ignore her, she'll come up here. My mom saw the stress we were under. It was bad. I mean, it was, I didn't know how bad it was until I got away from it. It was bad. So she feels very relieved for us. She's going to come visit. My kids have a great place to visit. I mean, the condo is 4 bedrooms. It's got 4.5 bathrooms with the 2 balconies. It's like 3,400 square feet. So it's huge. So, I'm only a 4-hour flight from Miami. All right. It was 30 hours because of all the layovers and everything else. It was more than 30 hours. But if we could just get on one plane and just go straight shot, it wouldn't be that bad. But from Miami, it's only a 4-hour flight. So my mom will be visiting us. Another thing, years ago, when they first started developing this city, the builders of this city, Salinas, which means salt, there's a salt mine, defunct old salt mine right there about 5 miles that way. But when they were designing this city, they went to the builders of Miami, the condominium builders of Miami, and a lot of the people that built Miami, and they came here and built this. And a lot of people say it's constantly being compared to Miami. It's really spectacular. Mr. Salty, getting back to the recourse. Tommy's got recourse for that woman who bragged, I'm a woman of means. That woman's going to really regret saying that. The other trolls that go after me are on government assistance. So I could certainly take them to court, get a judgment. What am I going to get? You know what I mean? I'd rather spend my time doing good things and spreading love and happiness and positivity than going after somebody. Just because you get a judgment doesn't mean you're going to get any money. So absolutely, I could go after all those people. Do you understand? That's what a troll is trying to do. It's just trying to get you off your game. That's literally the goal of a troll, is just to get you to stop you from doing what you're doing and getting you focusing on that. I just won't do that. I just won't do that. Another thing, Frank asked about the healthcare system. Want to hear something crazy? Most of the surgeons here are American. If a surgeon in America, they're going to make billions of dollars. A surgeon here might only make a couple $100,000 a year, but a couple $100,000 a year is like $2.5 or $3 million. And the paperwork, you walk in and say, hey, I need back surgery. Lay down. I mean, it's not like it is in America. It's a very, very different experience. It's really funny. I went from living in a desert to living in 100 miles that way is the rainforest. So the cats are sneezing a little bit. I got a little bit of a runny nose, but they told us that would happen and it's going to go away. Let me see. I'm trying to get to the question. Zipoclick, good to see you. I can't tell you. I can't even begin to share with you how happy I am. What are the supermarkets like? There is a market called the Maximart, which is about a quarter of a mile that way. It has anything you get in America, you can get there. There's nothing lacking. I don't miss anything. But I want you to know something. When I went to the Philippines, I didn't go to McDonald's. I wanted to eat Filipino food. So I'm Ecuadorian now. I'm an Ecuadorian citizen. I want to live like an Ecuadorian. So I eat Ecuadorian food, and that's the best food. You can't even imagine how good it is. Steven says, not even going to take a shot at that word. Phytosanitary certificate. You can get pods from growers still here. I don't know about that, Stephen. When I was over the last 9 years, I've had pods sent to me on 2 different occasions, sent to me in America from Australia. I've had pods sent to me in America from Germany. So pods can certainly be sent to me. It's certainly going to be a drag, and I'm sorry, but I got to tell you something. Would you have stayed? I'm telling you, it was getting scary. And I'm sorry that I didn't tell everybody, hey, I'm moving. I knew about this for a while. I didn't even tell David Foy I was moving. Do you want to know why? Because I don't want the DEA and the Department of Homeland Security with a magnifying glass on him ruining his life like they tried to ruin mine. So for those that are offended or upset or your feelings are hurt, hey, I'm sorry. But this was like one of the first times in my life where I was straight up looking out for me and me only. I'm sorry, but that's the truth of it. When you're a public figure, anybody can say anything. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard of the. Don't write what the rumor is, or I'll have somebody with a wrench get rid of you. But put a 1 in the chat if you have heard of the Richard Gere rumor. Okay, just put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of the Richard Gere urban legend. I don't even need to look. There's going to be an awful lot of 1s. There's no truth to that. That rumor went around the world 10 times pre-internet. Pre-internet. Do you think, I'm looking to see the 1s. I'm trying to catch up. I'm very far behind. A lot of people. Anyway, do you think Richard Gere loses sleep overnight at night because people talk about that? Do you think he cares? Probably not. You know what I mean? Rumors, trolls are trolls. I don't care. Like, if you hate me, I don't give a damn. Tell me you hate me, but don't lie about me. You know, if you hate me, you hate me. There are people I don't like. If you hate me, you hate me. It's okay, but don't lie about me. Good. I'm glad you haven't heard of the rumor. Later, Google the Richard Gere rumor. You'll read about it. But, you know, it just goes to show you. I mean, people are going to say stuff about you. Let me see here. Lisa says, I have absolutely nothing to be sorry about. Yeah, but I want you to know something. And this is true, I hurt people's feelings. I hurt people's feelings by leaving and not telling. But I swear to you, to my Savior, I did that because I was scared for people. If you have a brush with me, you're gonna have I've had so many people want to do interviews with me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. And they say, why? I said, because I don't want to bring a shitstorm to your channel. Pardon my French. And that's what would have happened. You know what I mean? It just got crazy, and I decided I wasn't. Here's the thing. I decided to take control over this situation. Are there any good music stores here? I don't know, but my guitars, my 6-string is right here. My 7-string is being shipped. I'll be playing guitar on my balcony. Now, July 1st will be Tommy's birthday is the 3rd of July. Mine's the 6th. On the 1st of July, we're going to be in the condo. So I'll be playing guitar in the condo on my birthday. And it was just remodeled. It is so, you know what? You want to see it? I wonder if this will work. This may not work. I'll tell you what I do. I'm just going to show you the view from my balcony. Hold on. Okay, now the bed's been redone, remodeled. I don't know if this is going to work. There. That's my bedroom. It's a new bed, new picture on the wall, different paint, but that sliding glass window is the balcony to my condo. Let me show you what the balcony looks like. The balcony is just absurd. Okay. This is the balcony. I really can't do a good job with this. That's the balcony. The pictures are not going to do it justice. I'm so sorry. I have my iPad over there that I can show you big. It doesn't matter. On the 1st of July, I'll give you the tour. It's spectacular. If I had to buy that in America, if I lived 10 lifetimes, I couldn't afford it. That's the truth. I couldn't. There's no way. And it's paid for in full. I don't have a house payment. I don't pay rent. I got to pay taxes at the end of the year, but that's it. So the whole thing was a God thing. All this stuff was happening, and this AI thing gets thrown in our lap, which changed the game. I'm going to make more in the next 2 years than I've made in the last 20. So it's just been a godsend and a blessing. Jane says, Johnny, you have handled all that has come your way with great integrity and have been straightforward as far as you could without putting yourself or BM. You're very sweet, Jane. You and Barbara are just something else. It's a weird thing. It's a very strange thing. You're sweet, Jane. It's a really strange thing to like. Before I was a bad guy for a long time. I was a criminal. I'm sorry, but I was, and I had a list of people that hated me and would kill me if they could. And I could tell you why. There was a reason. Every one of them. A guy named Todd wanted to kill me. I can tell you why. Then I cleaned my life up and I started a channel. Now I have people that hate me, would kill me if they could, and they have never met me and they don't know me. That's a really weird feeling to walk around with. It's a strange, it's weird. I don't know. Interesting, Jesse. Here, you know what, Lisa? What an interesting question. Has my book been released? Right when all of the worst stuff was hitting the fan, I was about to release the book. It's done. People in the chat that are reading it. I haven't released it yet. It would have been catastrophic if I released it when it happened because there were so many lies being told about me. It just would have been like pouring gas on a fire. But here's the great thing. There's a new ending to the book. And this is it. So I'm going to write the final chapter and I will sell it. You know what I mean? And I'll probably sell it cheaper because I don't need the money. But it's manufactured hate. If you hate somebody for no reason, there's a real problem there. You know what I mean? It really is. Here's the problem. You know what a troll is? A troll is somebody who sees, a troll that hates me, they see something in me that's missing in them. And that's a problem. And they hate it. I don't hate anybody. I know that. I swear to God, I don't. Chili Phil, since I've been coming to your channel, you've always been straightforward and humble, and that's all I have. Thank you, Chili Phil. You're a good man. I appreciate that. I knew what you meant, Jane. Putting people in danger. Thank you. It was horrible. I had to tell them, I'm glad I'm here. I live in paradise. I live like a king, but this was not, the whole thing is a tragedy. I'm a very happy guy right now. I wouldn't change anything for the world. I promise you that. Like if I didn't work again, if I didn't make another video for the rest of the year, I'm fine. I want to make more videos. I got to tell you something. This is so important. Do you know that if I didn't take the time off that I did, I was going to park this bus and I was done. There was so much hate. So much hate. I would have been done. Coming here has rejuvenated me. I got easy 10 more years in me. I'm going to live longer just by moving here. Delvin says, I love to see people do good and prosper. Do you understand you're a good human being? There are others that hate that. It's a bummer. It really is. It's not good to hate anybody. End times talk. I agree with you. Oh, I didn't see that. I'm sorry. I didn't see the question. Absolutely. Can I tell you something funny today? I ate some ceviche today that had some red sauce on the table. Melted my face off. My tolerance is down, but I am building it up again. So yes, I absolutely am. After all, peppers were invented here. That's Tommy Scoville.
And the next one.
Yeah, in just a little bit, Tommy's going to be going live. So what I'd like you to do is after I'm done here, let's all go over to Tommy's channel, which is Expat Tommy Scoville. Let's talk about that for just a second, please. Expat sometimes has a really horrible connotation. I think sometimes when people hear expat, they think somebody who hates America. I don't hate America at all. It's like an ex-wife. We have children together. My kids live here or there. You know what I mean? So I don't hate America. I hate the things that happened to me in America. But I don't hate America. The word expatriate means simply to leave the country of your birth to live in a different one. That's all the word expatriate means. But I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to be here. This is great. Sandy Wendy, how many times did you visit before deciding to move? You have no idea how lucky we got. This is the truth of how it happened. I swear to God, I'm telling you the truth. I went to a site, Tom and I went to a site to look at real estate in Ecuador. And their categories. So we put a dollar amount, like from the lowest to the highest, and condos. And we started looking at them. I'm like, those prices can't be right. It can't be. So we found one that just was perfect. It was perfect. I looked at him. I said, I want to buy that. Let's buy that. And he looked at me. We're standing in our living room in Tucson. And he goes, let's buy it. So we came here. We got here on the 18th. The day we got here, we met because we've been in contact with, hello, pretty girl. Oh, everybody. Here is my girl. So for those of you who think I could move without her, are you kidding me? It's my baby. I love my cat so much. Anyhow, what was I saying before that? I don't remember what I was telling you. Huh? You got lucky. Yeah, I did get lucky. Oh, let me tell you how lucky we got. We found the spot. We found the condo. We meet her name is Amy. She's terrific. She said, let's just take you to the one you like the most. I said, let's go. So we went there. We went to the top floor, opened the door. It's been remodeled. I walked in, and I swear to you, I've never had a feeling like it before. And I looked at Tommy, and we're like, made an offer. She's like, I want to show you a few more. I'm like, sweetheart, you don't need to. She was, let me feel like I'm doing my job for you. Let me show you one more. So she took us and showed us one more. Like, we'll take that first one. So they made an offer. The woman said, okay. And it's a done deal. So, but we got so lucky because sight unseen, we just walked in. I got to tell you something. It was spectacular before it was remodeled. Like if they didn't remodel it, it was worth what we paid for. But they remodeled it, and it's insane. Slow Lighting says, going to finally finish my engineering degree after 5 years. Congratulations. Wow, that's awesome. Curious if you have any tips on finding courage and integrity in jobs you choose and life you live as an adult with new responsibility. Holy mackerel. Listen to me. I'm the wrong guy to ask that question. Seriously. I wish I could give you a good answer. The best advice I can give you is your attitude in life is going to determine your altitude. When you get a job, I don't care what you do, immediately make yourself indispensable. Over-deliver. Attitude is everything. I mean that. You're at an engineering degree. You know how much smarter than you are? I can barely turn this computer on. So I shouldn't be giving you any advice at all, but believe in yourself. Don't let haters get to you. Never let the haters get to you. Believe in yourself, and you never, ever give up. Holy crap. But if you just take my life alone and look over my life, how many times I could have just said, you know what? Screw it. How many times through Tommy's life, he could have said, you know what? I can't, the fact that Tommy Scoville and I are here and we live here. It should be if we're knuckleheads, man, we can talk. Decide you're going to do something and do it. But I'll tell you something. I'm going to end it here, all right? Because we've been going for an hour. In about a few minutes, Tommy's going to be on. Don't look for happiness in the same place you lost it, because it isn't there. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love and support. Before I hang up, like this stream, please. Leave a comment. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do, because there's so much fun coming your way. You know, there's so much vitriol and hatred in the world. Aren't we all dying for some happiness? Aren't we all dying for a little positivity? Aren't we all dying for a little goodness? Aren't we? That's what you're going to find here. So please hit the subscribe if you haven't. Tommy is going to be going live in just a few moments. I went a few minutes longer than I should have. I'm sorry. But Tommy's going to be going live in just a few minutes on Expat Tommy Scoble. He is 10 times more interesting than I am. So please go join him. I'll be there as well. But I love all of you. I'm sorry for the ones that were hurt by not being told about this. But if you were in my shoes and Tommy's shoes, I swear to God, you would have done the same thing. And Jigsaw, we're going to eat some ceviche for you guys tomorrow. I'm going to end this stream right now. I love you guys a lot. I really do. Please do me a favor. Go over to Expat Tommy Scoble. Let's give him some support. Because if you think I've been through some crap, I'm more happy for him. When I think about where he's been and where he's now, it brings tears to my eyes. I'm so proud of my brother. I can't stand it. I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. I'm Johnny Scoble. You living abroad with me. See you guys soon.